गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गनर शॉट। गनर शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू in this edition of Good Morning India, I don't have Mr. Shreyar with me because he's got another commitment. We're going to have this as a regular feature. I just thought we'll put it across to you. Now, I'm going to talk and discuss with all of you about the high cost of Pak's military failure in Balochistan. There's going to be a high cost. Don't make a mistake about it. Right? And today, since I don't have Mr. Shreyar along with me, I'm going to let Pakistani speak. After we must share, they're going to be my alter ego or the dialogue which we're going to have with Pakistan. Quite a different kind of a thing. All those of you who are in P-Gurus, who not watch my solo shows this way, they're my typical kind of a thing. Okay, so let's start first with this. Okay, before I do this, if you can't hear what he says, let me know. I'll play the clip again. Okay, I need the immediate feedback if you can't hear. Right, this is what 𝗕𝗫𝗃𝗃 had said long back. That दाहिने बाएं kind of a thing. So let's hear him again.
तो ले आओ जो तुमने करना है, दाएं से आना है, बाएं से आना है, ऊपर से आना है, नीचे से आना है, इकट्ठे आना है, किसी के साथ आना है। एक बार मजा ना करा दिया ना तो पैसे वापस, ठीक है ना?
Yeah, I hope you people have heard it. I need a positive feedback before I move ahead. Otherwise, I'll show this again. Okay, we all know. दाएं से आया, बाएं से आया, मजा ना करा दिया तो क्या? What's happening now? I repeat it. In Balochistan, things are out of control for the Pak army. The cost of this failure is going to be pretty high. But what we're going to do is today, thanks a lot. Yeah, you can hear it, so we'll go ahead. I've got 2 more clips to show you, very important clips, right? What we're going to do today is we'll take a stock of the current situation in Balochistan, where it is. Then I'll give you a reflection of what the Pakistanis feel about this whole story. Important. And then I'll put you the historical context. Normally one puts the historical context first and X, Y, Z, but we'll do it the other way around today. Action, reflection, and then go into history. So that's the way we're going to go today. Okay, let's go. We've heard this, okay? Now, Pakistan has deployed, helicopters, drones, and all that. This was yesterday. Because till yesterday, things were on. The 4th day, yesterday was the 4th day. Today is the 5th. Today, I don't have news about any action going on, but till yesterday evening, action was going on. Okay? They've had to do a massive surge to do the whole thing. Right? To the extent, even Quetta cantonment was sealed off initially in the first, second day. I mean, just think, a cantonment sealed off to protect it. This is the state of affairs which was there. Maybe after that, Pakistan army, after Quetta is the headquarters of the 12th Corps, and they would have troops who would have come in and done all that. Don't believe the numbers. I won't believe the numbers either by the militants or the BLA or Pakistan. In fact, I would go by what the social media is coming out with. Okay. So, I'm just putting things in context. But if you leave that out, look at the major picture. Leave the numbers out. Look at the major picture. Okay. Look at what this guy, he's a Pakistani journalist. I mean, I don't know who he is. I couldn't find out everything. But listen to what he says. Pretty emotional. But and in that emotion, he's got some logic also. Listen to him and we'll take it forward. Right? Okay, let's go.
कि हम नहीं चाहते कि पूरा मुल्क मजबूर हो जाए तुम्हारे खिलाफ हथियार उठाने पे। हम तुम बचाना चाह रहे हैं इस मुल्क। कौम को सच बताओ। और क्या सच है? नंबर 1, तुम्हारे हाथ से पूरा सूबा निकल चुका है। बच्चा बच्चा तुमसे नफरत करता है। इतनी नफरत करता है जितनी गलीज तरीन दुश्मन से की जाती है, ऐसे नफरत करता है। दूसरा ये बताओ कि तुम्हारी कोई अमलदारी नहीं है पूरे सूबे में बलूचिस्तान में, कोई अमलदारी नहीं, तुम्हारा कहीं कंट्रोल नहीं है। जहां तो तुम फौजी कब्जा जमा के बैठे हो, बस वो छोटी सी जगह जहां जहां आपने रखे हुए कब्जे, वहां तो फिर भी जी लेते हो, उसके अलावा कहीं कोई महफूज नहीं। और नंबर 3, जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि ये एडमिट करो कम से कम अपने इंटरनली, और कुछ लोगों को नौकरी से फारिग करो। जिसमें एक शख्स जो अपने आप को बड़ा समझता है कि मैं मेंटल टॉर्चर करके सबको ठीक कर सकता हूं, सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट कर सकता हूं, जो बलूचिस्तान में बड़ा लंबा अरसा गुजार के अब आया हुआ और इस्लामाबाद में बैठा हुआ है, उसको फारिग करो। ये तुम्हारी ना अहली है, इनकॉम्पिटेंस है ये। और फिर तुम्हारा कठपुतली वज़ीर आला बैठा हुआ कहता है कि ये सियासी मसला नहीं है, ये अस्करी मसला है, हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं किसी। अस्करी मसला होता तो 78 साल ना चलता, दुनिया का कोई अस्करी मसला 78 साल नहीं चलता। अस्करी मसले खत्म हो जाते हैं, सियासी मसले कायम रहते हैं। जैसे कश्मीर अस्करी मसला नहीं है, सियासी मसला है। फलस्तीन भी अस्करी मसला नहीं है, सियासी मसला है। एक पॉलिटिकल मूवमेंट बनी, उसने आके फिर एक मुल्क में घुस बैठ की और पूरे मुल्क पे कब्जा कर लिया। अस्करियत तो उसके नतीजे में आती है, असल मसला सियासी है। यहां भी मसला सियासी। अब लोगों की अक्सरियत इलाद की पसंद ग्रुपों के साथ खड़ी हो गई। और मैं आपको बताऊं इन्होंने क्या इसका हल सोचा है, आपके रोंगटे खड़े हो जाएंगे जब मैं आपको बताऊं। पहले सिर्फ आपकी याद दहानी करवा दूं इस बात को आगे बढ़ाने से पहले कि बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस मिला है, दोबारा याद दहानी करवा देता हूं कि आपने अपने YouTube ऐप में जाना है, अपनी प्रोफाइल पे क्लिक करना है बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर पे, फिर सेटिंग आइकन पे क्लिक करना है, वो टॉप राइट कॉर्नर पे होगा। फिर आपने जनरल सेटिंग्स में जाना है, ये जनरल जो है, और ये आपको स्क्रीन मिलेगी। यहाँ पे अपनी लोकेशन तब्दील करनी है, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स रख लें, बेहतर है। जितने भी चैनल पाकिस्तान के कंपनी ने ब्लॉक करवाए हुए हैं पाकिस्तान में यूट्यूब के, वो सारे खुल जाएंगे मेरे समेत। जितने भी चैनल ब्लॉक हैं जो आपको नजर नहीं आते, वो सारे खुल जाएंगे और आप देख सकेंगे। ये एक बड़ा आसान तरीका है इनकी जो सेंसरशिप है उसको शिकस्त देने का। तो अब आते हैं वापस, इन्होंने इसका हल ये सोचा है, और बहुत सारे आन नेटवर्क से जुड़े जो अकाउंट हैं, जो आइस के नशे में धुत हैं और जिन्हें आइस से प्यार है बहुत ज्यादा, उनके जो अकाउंट हैं, वो ये कह रहे हैं कि अब हमने इनकी नस्ल कुशी करनी, इन सबको मार दो। मैं फिर दोहराता हूं, ये पता है क्या कह रहे हैं जो नेतन्याहू ने किया है गाजा में? ये कह रहे हैं कि हमने बलूचिस्तान में अब इनको मलिया मेट करना है, कारपेट बॉम्बिंग करके इनकी नस्ल कुशी कर देनी है, एक भी ना बचे इनमें। फिर हम ये करेंगे कि जो पंजाब के कुछ इलाके हैं जैसे डीजी खान वगैरह हैं, वहां पे जो बलोच लोग हैं उनको ला के वहां बसा दिया जाएगा और इस तरह बलूचिस्तान को दोबारा चला लेंगे। नस्ल कुशी करने की बात हो रही है, और मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा, ये लिटरली आइस के नशे में धुत, जिनको प्यार है आइस से, उनके अपने अकाउंट से बात कर रहे हैं। इस कदर गलीज इनकी सोच है कि ये इनको अपना दुश्मन समझते हैं और सोचते हैं इनकी नस्ल कुशी करके और हम मसला हल कर लेंगे। इनको हम जीत नहीं सकते, सियासी तौर पे इनको कायल नहीं कर सकते, अस्करी तौर पे हरा नहीं सकते, तो खत्म ही कर दो। याद आ गया ट्रम्प का वो जुमला।
So he is talking, of the incompetence of the Pakistan army, how they've been incompetent. He's also talking of the fact that, look, this is a political thing and not a military solution. It doesn't need a military solution, and that's coming out. Pakistan doesn't have a military political solution for Balochistan. It's a military solution. Everyone knows that except. And now he's talking of some Pakistan army likely to carry out a genocide in Bangladesh. Balochistan. So this is where we are. And this is an armed Pakistani. And an armed Pakistani tells you how to go around their censorship. A journalist. He says how you can beat the censorship of YouTube channels and do that and listen to what's happening. There is a feeling within Pakistan. That's the point. How this feeling will go down, seep down, everything we will see. Okay, let's move ahead because there's no point. Okay, yesterday morning they were firing in Quetta as per this posts which have come out. Okay, and yesterday they said, look, Operation 𝗕𝗹𝗹𝗺 2 phase 2 has commenced. So far, what we have seen is only phase 1. as per the BLA. So there's more to come, more action. Right? So I'm picking up yesterday morning. Yesterday morning they were firing in Quetta. Someone says that, through the day, this chap Bahut Baloch, he's come on my show earlier. I can show you his clips. You go down to that thing, Balochistan boils. Just put Balochistan boils in Ghana shot, and you'll get his talk. He came, spent a lot of time last year. So phase 2, and then this little thing came yesterday evening. Yesterday evening, I picked this up. It says in a newly released audio on the Baloch BLA media channel Hakal, a BLA commander states that BLA armed fighters have deployed from Keshangi to Kartgap and taken position on both sides of the road XYZ. Okay, so there's some action. So I searched, where is this? So this is it. Let me show you. So what's happened is, look, this is the places where they have attacked. Some people say 12, some people say 14. I'm going with these still. And this is the main center of attacks. To recap, Quetta, Mastung, Noshki, Kalat, these are the main centers where, critical communication centers. Then, of course, you're looking at Gwadar, Pasni, which have been under attack. We don't know what the outcome there is because there's no news coming from, Pakistanis. And then, of course, the target ultimately is this area of minerals, Sendak and Rekodik. But what's happened yesterday very clearly is this. Okay? There's a roadblock which has been put up there on either side of the road. There was an ambush kind of a thing. They blew up a bridge out there. And then when the Pakistani forces were coming in from Noshki is here, Noshki to Dalbandin, between the two, somewhere, a bridge has been blown and the Pakistani forces have been ambushed yesterday. Not only that, there's another road. I'm just giving you a situation update. Okay? Kara, Panjgur to Taftan. There's another road. Taftan is somewhere here. Okay? That has also been interdicted by the BLA chaps. Severed. And that's come out today morning. In fact, I just saw it. Yeah. I just saw it. Yeah. Yep. That's what he says. The Balochistan Post reports multiple critical highway bridges in Balochistan have been destroyed using explosives. Main routes between Kara and Besima and Quetta and Noshki are now severed. So there is an escalation by BLA. If we thought that the first phase was it, no. Right? So there is something happening. That's why I'm getting back to BLA. There might be something more happening. This is Pakistan at war with itself. There's a civil war going on. Let's be very clear about it. Okay. And then, you see, what's the effect of all this? I mean, there has to be an end play, isn't it? Usne bola na, 𝗖cie hai मामला. 𝗖cie is political. So, yesterday evening, I saw this article from Al Jazeera. It says, why peace remains elusive in Pakistan's troubled Balochistan. This is going. And you go into this article, it gives you a clear idea as to why peace has been elusive. And I'm going to talk of it. We're going to talk of all the waves of insurgency. This is not, and how Pakistanis are, approaching it. This is what, in this article, he says, 𝗙𝗪𝗺 𝗵𝗺𝗺, the chief minister of the province, said in a television interview that the solution to Balochistan's woes lay with the military rather than political dialogue. That's what he said, no, that 𝗖cie nahi hai, askari hai. Askari is military, for those of you who don't understand Urdu and that kind of a language. He said this, this is what Safdar Bugti has said. 𝗙𝗪𝗺𝗺 is a completely pro, establishment guy. He lost his elections. He was made to win his elections and he's been put in as the chief minister. Okay, this is one of the first statements which they say. So that's completely at odds with itself. And then Munir went yesterday to Quetta. What did he do? He went to the hospital over there and met all the chaps who were thing and did a political act. I just think Shehbaz Sharif doesn't go, the bloody chief goes there. The prime minister of this country doesn't go. It's the chief who goes. So it's a see how it is. And then what is he says? There was a briefing after what he took briefing, all that. So there was a ISPR, readout. What does that ISPR readout say? It says the briefing of the chief or briefing given to the chief covered recent terrorist attacks orchestrated by Indian-backed, internationally designated terrorists of Fitna Hindustan. So whatever is happening in Balochistan is thanks to India. But they're very clear about it. Whether it's correct or not, it's a different story. And the prompt, aggressive response of security forces, which failed their ulterior motive of compromising peace and stability and development in Balochistan. So they have given out their thing in ISPR. They've said, we have sorted out, we've killed 400 terrorists, all that nonsense which they have given out. So be it. Now, people have stopped believing it. People have stopped believing it. This article by Ayaz Amir. Ayaz Amir used to write for Dawn. He's an ex-military officer. He was, in their parliament, everything. I've listened to him. He's very articulate and quite sensible. Contrary to what we think, there are sensible Pakistanis. And this is post. And the heading of this post is, why bother with Balochistan? And I must read it out. There's excerpts, but I must read it out. Only then you'll get a sense of how people have started reacting and what's the reality there. He says, the beating heart of this country is Punjab, and Balochistan is far away from here. So Balochistan is in the outskirts. When there are attacks or explosions there, it is sad. What else can we do? The festivities continue here. Wedding halls are packed. The flow of fried mutton never stops in Lahore. The situation in Balochistan is bad. A banned militant organization called BLA is active and there, and it is said that Balochistan is suffering from a sense of deprivation and the youths are unhappy with everything for various reasons. Okay, they will be unhappy. The Bengalis also had complaints. And then there was a rebellion there. But when the tension reached its peak, there, we Punjabis were not particularly worried. Ayaz Amir coming out and he's now comparing the situation in Balochistan with East Pakistan, Bengal. See the connection. That's why I took it out. I thought the feeling must be translated to all of you. And then he says, I was very worried because the official sources were saying that he's talking about, the time when he was a youngster, he was an army officer in West Pakistan during 71. He's gone back there. I mean, this is only excerpt from that. So then he's recounted in this article. He says, I was worried because the official sources were saying that impregnable defensive operations were going on in the Eastern Front. Okay? And that the Indian army was being attacked on the Western Front. That's their thought. That's their line. If this was the real situation, how did Jessore get out of hand? This is a time when Jessore had fallen. The next day, when I mentioned Jessore to the unit's adjutant at the regimental headquarters, he almost tried to catch me, asking what I was saying. So there was a thing within Pakistan army to refuse that Jessore had fallen when it fell. And anyone who spoke of it got a kick. And they were till then talking, East is impregnable, West will attack India and sort them out. The purpose of telling this story was that the scale of complete defeat, look at the words he's saying, complete defeat was about to be reached, and we were lost in our own world of ideas. Even now he's connected that to Balochistan. Even now, if we add the calculations given by official sources, it seems that the number of terrorists in Balochistan who are called Fitna ul Hindustan is almost reaching its end. He is deconstructing Pakistan and Pakistan army and their outlook. And then he's compared this entire scene with what's happened in Vietnam. When the war in Vietnam was going on, the American command sitting in Saigon, the capital of South Vietnam, used to announce the news of victory every day, saying that so many Viet Cong guerrillas had been killed, so many bases had been destroyed, and such encouraging things. In January 1968, the communist Vietnamese launched a series of attacks on American forces, and these attacks engulfed the whole of South Vietnam. He's invoked the Tet Offensive. Those of you who don't know history, read the Tet Offensive. So we are talking of, he's comparing what's happening in Balochistan with the Tet Offensive. He's brought the similarities of what's happening in Balochistan with what happened to the American forces in Saigon and Pakistan in 1971. Pretty serious, right? Now he's come to the present. There are attacks on 12 places simultaneously. Not one or two people, but regular groups come to attack all these places. The attacks in Quetta reached within 400 to 500 yards of key government offices. The footage of that attack on the bank has gone viral. We don't know, it's gone viral in their media. A rocket launcher is fired at the bank and then ordinary people enter inside. In Noshki, the deputy commissioner is taken hostage and then released after making a video. These attacks were on 31st January, but on 2nd, BLA militants were roaming around for 4 hours in Washington district, which is near the Iranian border. See the situation which is painting. Then he says, there have been many rebellions or insurgencies in Balochistan. But this insurgency gained momentum after the death of Nawab Akbar Khan Bugti. This is different from all previous insurgencies. This is important. You have to understand. You see, because a Pakistani is giving you an insight of what's happening in Pakistan here. That's the point. And he's collecting it with everything else. This insurgency is not led by Nawabs and Sardars, but by educated middle class people who are leading the BLA. All these factors indicate that the situation is very serious. But do those who should be aware have such an awareness? No, they don't have. That is what the earlier journalist also said. That is what Al Jazeera is also reporting. Please understand what the thing. The thinking Pakistani knows where the problem is. The Pakistani establishment and, I would say when I say Pakistani establishment and their minions are treating this as a military problem when the thing is political and it is 7 decades old. And this is what the clip that journalist has also said. The concerning situation is that the situation in Balochistan is like this, and from where we are sitting, it seems that everything is normal. Where we are sitting is Lahore. There is no need to worry. Balochistan is burning and preparations are being made to celebrate Basant in Lahore. अभी तो बसंत है ना टाइम उस नॉर्थ इंडिया में मार्च में होली हो जाएगा. So all these fellows who are Punjabi based, they're fiddling, having good time, and Balochistan is burning. Okay. Now this is a MNA, or I don't know who is a Pakistani politician. He's obviously speaking in some assembly or something like that. And here what he says, don't go. I mean, there's a sentence on which he talks about Modi and all. Discount that. Just see what he says about Balochistan and the people of Balochistan and the murder of Balochistan which is going on there. Right? Just listen to him. You will get the emotion involved.
क्यों भाई हम मरे? क्यों हमारे बच्चे मरे भाई? 100 रुपए में उनको देता हूँ कि मेरी जान, माल, इज्जत, आबरू बलूचिस्तान में अमन तो मैं उनको जिम्मेदार करा देता हूँ कि मैं उन्हें ऑन कैमरा बात करेंगे, ऑन कैमरा कि बलूचिस्तान में कत्लेआम क्यों होता है? पंजाब में मोदी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करता, बलूचिस्तान में मोदी करता है, क्यों करता है? यही मोदी पंजाब में कोई वाकया नहीं करता, मस्तों को कड़ा कर तुरता तो तुरबत में क्यों करता है? बात करते हैं क्यों? बलूचिस्तान पाकिस्तान नहीं है जनाब चेयरमैन।
तो बलूचिस्तान पाकिस्तान नहीं है। See this fellow, though he is pointed fingers at India, he is actually pointing fingers at Pakistan and the army.
मैं और आप सब कीड़े मकोड़े, मैं पंजूर के उस में गया, हर घर में खूबसूरत नौजवान, स्पोर्ट्समैन नौजवान, महीने में 25-25 कत्ल हुए, उनका कातिल आज भी पता नहीं है, आज भी पता नहीं है। वलीद का कातिल कौन है? मेरे बच्चों का कातिल कौन है?
मेरे बच्चों का कातिल कौन है? All this is being spoken in their parliament. I'm sure this fellow will be really sacked or killed within a few days. He's got limited lifespan left. All the best to him.
बच्चे कत्ल का कातिल कौन है? मैं किसके हाथ में अपना लहू तलाश करूं? मैं जवाब दे किसको बनाऊं? जनाब स्पीकर, आप जिम्मेदार कौन है? जिम्मेदार मैं जिम्मेदार उन लोगों को करार देता हूं, मुझे कातिल से नहीं है, मैं तो उनको जिम्मेदार करार देता हूं जिनको मैं 80 अरब रुपए देता हूं सालाना। क्यों तैयार है? हमारे बच्चे कम मरे।
So he says, look, Balochistan gives 80 Arab rupiah to Pakistan. And why should I die for it? See, these are the things which are coming out. These are the issues which are coming out there. Right? So you see what things are happening in Balochistan. I'm giving you look, the military part is one issue. What is the difference between the military part so far and what was happened before? 𝗕𝗹𝗃𝗃 last time, or that, that express train which was hit in between. They were one-day affairs, small affairs. This has entered a second phase. I don't think it's over. There's a plan, and it is led by a guy, chap 𝗙𝗪𝗺𝗃, who was an engineer studying engineering, a student leader. He left all that and he's taken this up. There are educated people in that BLA who are acting. This is not a normal insurgency. This is a well-planned, well-thought. And Pakistan army is blind to this. They don't know how to handle this. Right? They don't know how to handle this. Right. Now, to give you the depth of the whole situation, you have to understand the depth of the whole situation. I'm going to take you back into the history of this. Why am I taking you back into the history? Because of that Al Jazeera article which came out. Because that Al Jazeera article traces the history, though it's a little wrong. So I'll put things in perspective. I did a little correction here and there, and I'll put it in this thing. And you need to understand this. Okay, let's go. See, the provinces of Pakistan, not Pakistan, of this area, let me go back to 47, where Lasbela, Kalat, Karan, and Makran. These were not part of Pakistan when Pakistan came into being. These were acquired later on. Main in that was Kalat. If Kalat could be acquired, Lasbela, Karan, and everyone, Makran could be acquired. How did you get Kalat? Look, what Pakistan did was similar to what Sardar Patel did here. All the princely states, like Hyderabad was told, you join in. End of story. Okay. Similarly, Pakistan carried out a forced annexation of Kalat when at that time, 47. 47, immediately after the thing. Pakistan initially recognized Kalat as a different state and then coerced it at the point of the gun to join. When Kalat fell, Karan, Makran, and Lasbela all fell and joined, or were they forced to join. But the thing is, there was a rebellion then in Kalat. Not by the Khan of Kalat, but by one of his nephews or cousins or brother. I think it's brother. Yeah, his brother. He carried out a rebellion, and that rebellion was crushed by the Pakistan army. That, by many counts, is the first or the start point of this Baloch insurgency. Or I wouldn't say the Baloch insurgency, the Baloch problem. Because the Baloch never accepted this whole story of being part of Pakistan. And ever since then, Pakistan has treated Balochistan as a different land, a place to be exploited. The problem has grown. This problem is not new. It is from then. Okay, so I'll take you through, right. There's another interesting thing. Gwadar. This is Makran. You go back. This is Makran. This is Gwadar. Okay. Now, Gwadar was part of Oman. It was annexed by the Sultanate of Oman in 1797. Gwadar. It was not of the, of course, we are talking of the British days. It remained under the control of Oman till 1958. 8 December 1958, Gwadar officially became part of Pakistan after it was purchased from Pakistan at a price of 5.5 billion rupees. And this was enabled by the Britishers. Because at that time, Oman itself was in a problem. It was the Trucial states. And the Trucial states were today's UAE, Oman, and Makran. So UAE and all came into being. Oman became separate. It was the Trucial states of Oman. And then Makran. So Pakistan has acquired both these and they've exploited them. That's the thing. So like I said, let me go over this sequence of waves of this is the fifth wave of insurgency. Right? The first forced annexation of Kalat in 47 was seen by Baloch nationalists as the forced accession. That was the future of the, that was the foundation of the future resistance. Right? Okay. Now, really speaking, though I have written the second major uprising, I might call it the second major uprising, but this is the first wave of insurgency. The start point was 47. The first major wave of insurgency began in 1958. What happened in 1958? There was a move to call, East Pakistan as one unit and West Pakistan as one unit to get parity. This is part of Pakistan evolution policies. Okay. That means entire West Pakistan will be one unit, East Pakistan would be one unit. What about that story? This is their history. The moment that happened, the Baloch people rebelled. Because they felt that they would be usurped. Whatever happened then, so in 58, so 47, 58, 10 years later, this is the first major uprising. And of course, it was dealt with the iron hand. The second wave of insurgency came in 1960s. 58, the first wave happened. It was quelled. 60s, in fact 65 really, when Ayub Khan was just around the time the India-Pakistan war was happening. Ayub Khan by then was a military ruler. After all, he took over in the 50s. He imposed military law in Balochistan, short time. Okay. And that was the second wave of insurgency. Third wave of insurgency happened in 1970s. Around the time of, early 70 till about a couple of years later. When when India-Pak war, was happening, Balochistan was always restive. There was a elected government of the National Awami Party, 73. It was dismissed by Bhutto. Okay? Because he wanted to control. This was in the aftermath of the 71 war. And it was a full-scale rebellion. Probably one of the biggest rebellions at that time. This rebellion was quelled by 𝗖𝗍𝗪𝗪 after he came. And then he came to an accommodation. He dealt with it politically. Of all people, 𝗖𝗍𝗪𝗪 dealt with this problem in Balochistan politically. He gave some political leeway to, Baloch people. That's the interesting part. It was 𝗖𝗪𝗪 who, only guy who dealt with this problem politically. All was fine. Then comes 2005. From 𝗖𝗪𝗪's time to 2005, things were okay. Some problems here and there, that's sort of all. Now in 2005, there was a female doctor, Shazia Khalid. She was raped by an army officer in the Sui gas agency. She was the medical officer there. This fellow is going, whatever. Now, Pervez Musharraf went on TV and said this officer is not guilty. Nawab Akbar Khan Bukti, he was Pakistan's former defense minister and Balochistan's former governor. He was one of the senior-most politicians and statesmen of Balochistan. Okay. That was when he took up arms against Pakistan state. He said no. He was the one who started the fourth uprising, a very serious uprising. Very next year, Bukti was assassinated. He was cornered by the Pakistan army and assassinated. And ever since then, of course, the exploitation of mineral resources was ongoing. Sui gas came, the maximum amount of gas is in Balochistan, but it is not available in Balochistan, it is available in Punjab. The mineral resources were being exploited. Development zero. I can go into all those details, I don't want to. Then what happened after that with Pervez Musharraf, and in fact, even before that, you heard that guy talking, "Mare bacche mar gaye," and goes back to time. Enforced disappearances. People just disappear, are picked up. You don't get bodies. And they say, this is, I've heard many times, many people say this, that if a body is found for identification, there's a line in Balochistan of ladies to find out whether that body is of her husband, son, father, whatever, relative. That's the status. And every house in Balochistan has been affected by an enforced disappearance, a disappearance or extrajudicial killing or something like that. I think they've come to the end of their tether. The entire people in Balochistan, most of them are not with Pakistan. Can you imagine that guy, what you heard? He says, this is not Pakistan. Balochistan is not Pakistan. This comes in their National Assembly yesterday, day before. Now, naturally, people who are subjugated will come out. Now, there are three forms here. One is this Baloch Ekjeti Committee. This was formed around 2018 by Marang Baloch. Very vociferous, very active, very everything. After the last set of attacks, we're going into 24. After about 4-5 months, she was put in jail. And she's been in jail ever since. No one wants to talk to her. Everyone feels that, when I say everyone, the Pakistanis feel that she's militant. If you see, all she says is, look, all those chaps who've been enforced disappearances and deaths and all, get them to courts. We'll answer it in court. We'll deal with it democratically. Many times I've listened to what she says. She says, I want these things, a case registered, and take it up democratically. Nothing happens. BBC in 2007 or 8 came out with a documentary on enforced disappearances. 2007, 17 years back. I was surprised. Okay, now today what has happened? Of course, thereafter, from 2018 to now, 7 years, a lot of militant groups came up, everything. See, after Akbar Khan Bugti was assassinated, 2005, 2006, most of the militant or the rebellious guys were all dispersed. Because most of them, that time was backed by these Nawabs or the tribal leaders, Mengal, Buktis. These are the major tribes there who have political say and muscle power. That kind of insurgency, that wave of insurgency, the fourth wave of insurgency, was a product of the tribal leaders. After that, many tribal leaders have joined politics. They've given up. They said, look, this is no way. Let's be part of Pakistan and join politics. Including Ataullah Mengal, which I showed a clip last time, and his son Akhtar Mengal. But Akhtar Mengal is now switched. I'll come to that. And then the new wave of militancy has started now. That's what that chap has said, no? This new wave of militancy is not Nawabs and, tribal leaders and all. This is educated, armed Baloch guy. Right. Now, they came up in various things. They came up as Baloch Liberation Front, BLA, Baloch Republican Guard, Sindhu Desh Revolutionary Army, all these. All these have now gone under one umbrella, which is called Baloch Raji Ajoy Sangar, BRAS. And today, they come out with videos in the name of Akal and all that. Side by side, there's also a movement in Gwadar against Chinese presence there. That's called Gwadar Ko Haq Do Tehreek by a chap called Maulana 𝗕𝗵𝗺𝗺. Who's Maulana 𝗕𝗵𝗺𝗺? He's the guy who spoke. This guy. Till recently, he was only speaking of problems of Gwadar and problems in Gwadar. In fact, he closed down Gwadar for quite some time. They got over it. They got around him. He is still within the political mainstream of Pakistan. That's why he's speaking where he is. But today, his tone, if you see, is different. So where this is going, I don't know. I mean, this is a question. Look, this is what Akhtar Mengal last year spoke. He said last year, not now. So far, he has not come out with a statement. Last year, he said there's not a single inch of Balochistan left where the government can claim authority. They have lost this war completely and irreversibly. It is over. We warned them, just as those before us warned them. That is his father. But instead of listening, they mocked us. They dismissed our words as empty threats, while they fueled a system of oppression, looting, and bloodshed. Every single government without exception, has played its role in the systematic genocide of the Baloch people. This is the one issue where every institution, every administration, every so-called leader has always stood united against us. Rather than acknowledge their crimes, they have done what they do best, shift the blame onto others. And then he goes on to say, but today I want to make something very clear to the federal government, to the political parties, to the judiciary, to the establishment. You have brought Balochistan to the brink of destruction with your own hands. But this time, it is beyond our control and it is beyond yours as well. He said this last year. I'm reading it out. Okay? I'm reading it out so that you understand what I'm talking of. The situation has gone even worse in Balochistan, away from Pakistan. And this thing which is going on in Balochistan is one step more than what it was last year. There'll be very serious questions on this. Now, I've given you all this. We need to see what does India do in all this. I'm coming back to that. Of course, we have to see what's happening in Pakistan. That's our story. But first, we'll go back to Pakistan a bit. Okay. Look at this. UAE. UAE has given a lot of money to Pakistan. Now they're saying we'll not give you any more money. Give us 1 month return of money. Otherwise, there will be in commercial rates of interest, 6%. Okay. This is in news. I just picked up one from WION. Okay. And I don't think Pakistan can repay. I don't think anyone will come and help them out also. UAE, which was their main facilitator, because of the rift between UAE and Saudis, and Pakistan has picked up Saudis. And incidentally, that Islamic NATO, Turkey, Pakistan, and Saudis, that's fallen apart. Which I said that time itself, there are too many contradictions for that to go ahead. That's broken. Someone in US would have twisted Turkey's tail. Turkey and Saudi are on opposite sides in Libya, so that Islamic NATO is dead and gone. But Pak-Saudi nexus is on. And so UAE is screwing Pakistan. Earlier it was all happiness. कि भाई आप पाकिस्तान से भी UAE से पैसे ले लो और go to Saudi and take money from both. Now Pakistan that money route is out. Please understand that. See where Pakistan is headed. Right? See where Pakistan is headed. And that's the next question I have. Where does Pakistan go from here? If we don't know where Pakistan is going from here, where does India go from here? I don't have answers. I'm not going to hazard a guess what's going to happen. Because I think things are pretty bad. And the way things are happening, we don't know. Things are not going well on Iran. Iran will know. Tomorrow, the Iranian foreign minister and 𝗕𝗹𝗵𝗺𝗃, Trump's nominated guy, they're meeting in Oman for talks. Iran wants to talk only nuclear. US wants to talk nuclear, missiles, everything. But will that come to a head or not? We don't know. If that doesn't conclude well, there is McMaster, who, he was one of the theater commanders of USA. McMaster has come out and said Trump will bomb Iran. If Trump bombs Iran, he needs Pakistan. If Pakistan cannot provide their bases in Balochistan, there are 3 or 4 bases in Balochistan, including Pasni, which is under attack. Samungli. Jacobaabad. All these are there. Shamsi. I don't know. I mean, whichever. Then where does it leave Pakistan? If Americans use that, also where does it leave Pakistan? If some attack takes place into Iran, it might not be an attack like what it happened in Iraq and all. It will be a strike. Even for the strike, the Americans need Pakistan, because others have said you can't use my air, you can't use my land. Pakistan has to be. So all this is a big question mark. I'll not hazard a guess, but we should be clear as to what we need to do. Are we pushing Balochistan for a freedom struggle? They don't have the critical mass. The critical mass comes only if Pashtuns join. Can the Pashtuns and the Baloch join? Very difficult, because they're fundamentally different ideologies. If that doesn't happen, Balochistan doesn't have the critical mass. Population is the critical mass, the way I look at it. Do you think the Punjabis will let go the Baloch people? Because the money is there. There's no money in Punjab. So you're going to have a Pakistan which is quite problematic for itself. If there's a problem child next door, it's going to affect you. How it's going to affect? We've seen it. Delhi, Bangladesh, Nepal. In fact, yesterday, I was at the National Police Academy, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy in Hyderabad. And I was speaking to about 30 odd senior police officers on this topic, not Balochistan. I spoke to them about Nepal and Pakistan and Bangladesh, and how they're going to affect us in internal security here. Okay. Maybe one of these days I'll give you the talk separately, what I spoke to them. After all, I spoke to people who are ADGs, law and order in their states, and they're in the crime branch, and then they're the top police officers. It was fortunate for me that they gave me an opportunity to speak to them. So I posed this problem to them in their respective states when they go back from that talk. But that's not the point. We have to think for ourselves. I'm sharing this problem with all of you. We'll see how it goes. Right? Okay, with these, I'll take some questions. There's a lot of questions. I'll spend some time, because yesterday I couldn't come, yesterday evening. And yesterday morning also, it was a short talk. We'll talk. And today evening, let me see what Mr. Shreya says about how 3 good generals want to talk. You got some ideas? I'm sure it will come out. Join us in the evening. Till then, I'll take a few questions. And also, if you like this video, press the like button and join in as a member of Ganashot. Right? And subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe, press that bell icon so that you get notification. Okay. And this month, I'll be doing a lot of traveling. I have to go to Delhi in a few days to talk another set of senior officers on something else, on technology. And later this month, I have to go to the College of Defense Management in Secunderabad to talk to them also in a seminar. So I have a lot of things. There'll be interruptions. That's how it is, right? Please subscribe to the channel and get your icon, because it will be a little irregular. Okay. Yeah. Rohan, good morning. Thanks a lot. Let me go from the top and this thing. Will Balochistan become independent? I don't think so. My own sense says it will not be independent. I don't know how it's going to end. It might. We don't know. Strange things happen in life. But right, let's see. A lot depends on what happens in Iran, what happens in Afghanistan, and all that. Do a program on snow leopard. Let's see how it goes. Good morning, Sunil. US equipment was used by Baloch army. Yeah, that's that. A lot of equipment left. They left. It's available, so they've used it. Nothing very great. Mrs. Claire, good morning. How can India help the Baloch without Chabahar port access? So you can help the Baloch without Chabahar port access. Don't worry. There are many methods of helping, and we should also. I'm sure we are. Yeah. We are giving them moral support, no? Like Parvez Musharraf said, we are giving moral support to the Kashmiris. So we are also giving moral support. Yeah, Ingeborg Malik, good morning from Germany. Thanks a lot. Balochistan on its best day can't attain critical mass due to its large areas and less population. What's the way forward? Same in the case of POJK. No, POJK is different. POJK we should take back. You don't need critical mass in POJK. You need political outreach from us. Actually, the way forward, Satish, is the way forward for all this is start something in POJK. Then that's the end of the story. Right? The way forward is that. So don't, right? The way forward is to go to POJK, start a political movement out there, take back what's yours. That's yours. Okay, thanks a lot. I do research in photographs. I don't talk just like that. Right. Sundar Krishnan, good morning. Pakistan and Kazakhstan joint statement calling for implementation of UN. Well, that you should ignore it. Certain things you shouldn't get worried. What steps can we take in Balochistan? All that we'll see. I feel we shouldn't do the direct thing to Balochistan. We should POJK. We'll talk of this in a separate day, strategic autonomy. One of these days it will come through. We'll talk of this separately. Right? Yeah. We'll not talk of Rudra and all that. We'll talk of it some other day. Right? There are issues. We'll talk with a suitable person so that you have opinions from different people. Electromagnetic railgun. Again, I'll do it separately. It's not so easy as people say. Yeah, great. Sorry. Great starting music. I added that. That's welcome to Ghana Shot. Balochistan separation reaching a tipping point. We'll have to see. That's why I say I'm not very sure because it doesn't have critical mass. The political thing has not come. Something has to happen in Punjab. Only when something happens in Punjab, all this will, come through. Mullah Munir is a terrorist wearing. Last podcast was spectacular. Thanks for your service. Thanks a lot. I mean, if this is the case, I would request everyone to join in and subscribe. I need more people to come in, right? Seems that the world is not bothered about the Baloch people, neither the Kashmiri Pandits genocide, definitely not the Hindus being lynched alive and UN is doomed. Yeah. No, we are talking of it. That's why we are also part of the world. Okay. Too much silence in India after the Red Fort incident. Should the government start cleaning internal stuff before any incident? Yeah, we need to. There's no doubt. And I'm sure the government is doing everything. Don't think government is sitting quiet on this. Oh, good. Thanks a lot, Krishna Reddy. Loving these videos where you show these video clips. Yeah, I get this because there has to be an alternate thinking and alternate way. Otherwise, if I have to speak for 1 hour, I'll get fed up. You'll get fed up, right? Pakistan is going down the drain. Sooner we realize that it's better for us. Yes, I agree with you. What do these countries find attractive in Pakistan? Yeah, there are a lot. which is Pakistan is attractive. You see, in the world of geopolitics and international relationship, you will always find a weak country which has no control over its area as very attractive. It gives you a lot of options. It gives a lot of options for exploitation. Budget 2026 gives a path to 2047. Well, I don't agree with it. I'll discuss it separately. Okay, there are these budgets, they say till 2047, but you can turn it off tomorrow. Yeah. He wants to free Khalistan, Kashmir, and Nagaland and love from Khalistan. Thank you. You go and really sit with that Pannoon character and all that in Alberta or wherever. If you come here, we'll already sort you out. Rohan, good morning. Is CIA involved in Pakistan? Of course it is involved. Completely involved. I don't have a doubt about it. We're Iran, our Balochistan. These are the issues we'll have to see. We'll see it. That's why I said it's all linked to what Trump does to Iran also. Yeah, isn't Baloch Regiment and Staff College Quetta the oldest in British India? How the deterioration, how did the situation deteriorate so fast? Well, you have to ask Pakistan for it. It's not, the deterioration is not now. It's been ongoing. And please understand, the Pakistan army is a Punjabi army. They are centric. They're making money. They're not bothered about Pakistan. They're not bothered about people. They're only bothered about holding on to power. That's the whole story. Okay. Yeah, sir. Has our artillery made PAF useless? Yes. It's a fact. Respected General, I was afraid if US backed Iran come, that would give Pakistan a strategic depth in battle. I'm happy Balochistan. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you. A lot of things are happening. Like I said, no understand Hindi, Urdu. I agree here, but I can't ask those chaps to speak in, English. The clips are original, no? So I can't. I'm speaking in English, that's why. Yeah, Vinay, good morning. So I have two questions. Who equipped Baloch army at this moment? There are methods. There are people, there are smuggling things. There's a huge trade going on in oil between uh, Iran and Balochistan. So that oil money smuggling, these chaps will get. See, you have to understand how this money is coming from Balochistan. Very simple. It's coming from Iran. In Iran, oil is sold at the petrol pump at some 5 or 10 rupees per liter for Iranians. That Iran, for their subsidies, Iran gives subsidies to its people. So that oil, that petrol and diesel is filled in jerry cans, okay, and it goes to Afghanistan and Balochistan, and sold in Pakistan at some 300 liters a liter. It's there. You buy it for 20 liters or 20. I don't know how much it is. I think 5 cents. Up 5 cents ka laga lo. Kitna hai? And it is sold at 100 times or 50 times or whatever the time. So there's money. Money is not a big deal. Yeah, Bari Barsi Katan Gayasi, Ketan Vich Sirf Dur, Baluch Pukam, Field Marshal Kaun, Trump Kehta Agla Executive. That's nice. Okay, leave it. What is China doing? Did they make agreement with Balochistan? It appears that there's some agreement between China and Balochistan, and it's possible that China is paying Baloch people off. And who will they pay? BLA. So it's possible that China also is contributing to the BLA. Well, China has done that in other places. Right? China has done that in other places. Right. So China has done this in other places. They made an agreement with Balochistan. I am very sure of it. Okay. Right. $200,000 Baloch. Yeah. 20. Yeah, that statement I've seen from the Pak minister that US is involved and all. US is not involved. Those weapons are available in Balochistan. Okay. Yeah. Sociological dimension, Baloch movement was led by tribal chiefs. New leadership represents ethno-nationalist ideology and Chinese presence. It will never be India. Yeah, I agree with you. That's what are TTP and Baloch working together? At some level, yes. At some level, there's a tactical coordination, but there's no ideological coordination. When will India start funding Balochistan? You should ask Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman because it's not there in the budget yet. How can I answer that? Yeah. When off-pact border fighting erupted, Gulf states were able to broker a ceasefire. Any chance they'll no, they will not. They're not doing it. They've not done it so far. Why is Indian government sleeping and not helping Balochistan and making deals with them? Well, I'm sure it is there. Can you make a show regarding actual reasons for Sri Lanka civil war? Not now. Not now. When the time comes, we'll talk of it. Yeah, who's bothered about Sri Lanka civil war today? It's best to forget about it. If it comes up, we'll see. There are many other things to happening. No understand Urdu. I know. I am telling you, I cannot ask a Pakistani to speak in Tamil or Telugu or English. Yeah. Okay, just do that. Balochistan, what will be next? Well, let's see how it rolls out. Already, TTP is in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is also in the same, problem. Okay, so interesting. I just thought I'll put all these things across so that you understand. Let's see how things roll out. Okay, and we'll see where it goes. Till evening, have a great time and do join in the evening with the three good generals. We're going to have some interesting discussions. With this, thank you. Thanks for joining once again. We'll resume our morning talks regularly with 𝗕ญ่𝗍𝗹𝗺. Have a great day and Jai Hind to all of you.